Good evening, everybody. This is Jeff Bessa, Charting Horse Value. Welcome to our weekly broadcast. I'm here live with Sara Elbadwi from Horse Race Nation. Welcome, Sara.
Thanks for having me back. It's the third time now. I think this is my first third time guest appearance on anything. So you win the award for that one.
Well, I think I had Jake on like 10 times, but other than my good buddy Jake, I think you're number 2. I haven't had him on in a while, but yeah. So glad to have you back. You're a great handicapper, and I may be wrong. So correct me if I'm wrong. But didn't you hit like a $5,000 pick 5 or something the other day?
Almost 4,700. So.
Okay, not almost. I missed it. No, I hit it. It was 4,700.
It happened. Almost 5,000. Yeah, last Thursday at Gulch Park, put together just a small $16 ticket, and man, that fourth race where my horse won by the slimmest of noses, I thought that photo I was out, but when that horse held on, I was like, all right, we just have one to go. So that was a nice little score, and hoping to continue some good luck rolling into this weekend. It's been a pretty decent week, so we'll see what happens.
Well, congratulations on that. You picked a lot of good winners. I don't know if you were following me along last night at Sam Houston. I could not do anything wrong. I missed an early pick 3, and then I skipped race 5, and then I played the late pick 4, and I bet my plus horse in race 6, 7, and 8. And then, of course, I was alive in the pick 4, a $12 pick 4. I returned $540. I mean, my plus horse won every single race, every single leg, which basically worked out to be a 540 to 1 straight parlay if you played it that way.
Yeah, no, you've been doing some great stuff with the charts. I tune in every now and again. I'm like, oh, Jeff had that horse. Oh, he had that one too. So you pick a lot of good long shots in there as well.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes. So anyway, it's going to be an interesting Rebel card tomorrow at Oaklawn. I wish I was there, except it's going to be freezing cold and wet. So maybe it'll be better watching it online. Right. They are, this is the earliest Rebel, I think, ever. Still February. Typically it happens like second week of March. But they redid the whole schedule. They started early at Oaklawn in December. The Arkansas Derby's 2 weeks earlier this year. Everything got backed up. So this is the earliest Rebel, and we'll get a chance to talk about that. And I don't know how the card will play, but it might be favoring speed. We're going to have to watch closely on that. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to talk first about race 1. Okay, I'll let you go first. Give you the honors.
Sure. Thanks.
This is a 6 furlong, and is this? Let me look at this. Bear with me here. 6 furlongs made in 84K. Okay, this is not Archie Breads, just straight 6 furlong. What are you thinking?
Yeah, 3-year-old fillies. There's a couple first timers in here, but none of them really caught my interest enough to just use those horses. I think, like a lot of other people, I'm looking at the number 4, Little Mambo, who is 5-2 on the morning line. So it just makes a lot of sense. The 4 and the 5 are coming out of the same race. The 4 was second last time out in his third lifetime start, or her third lifetime start. And this was a $500,000 Keeneland September purchase. So there's clearly some sort of like intent, or somebody seeing something in this horse to be spending that kind of money on them. I think this horse probably has a good chance to get it done here. I am using the 5 as well. Hardy Constitution, like I said, comes out of the same race as the 4. If I was going to take a look at any of these first-time starters, it would be the number 2, Devious, going out for Ron Moquette. This is an Into Mischief. It's a first full for the dam, $130,000 purchase price, and Moquette is 8% with first-time starters. So perhaps a little bit interesting. I just like this first start over the other 2 in here. What do you think?
Well, I kind of think the same thing. So give me a second here. Okay, good. It came through. So your 4 obviously makes sense. And might also be the speed of the race. I didn't really want to play the chalk. The 8 kind of looked interesting to me. The 8 is coming out of a really bad effort. And for Brad Cox, Santana is getting on board here. One of the things you're going to notice today is Santana's riding a lot for Cox, and Gaffleone's riding a lot for Asmussen. Unfortunately, the Santana-Asmussen connection appears to be over. Anyway, Santana's on this horse, and they ran horrible, and Brad Cox is bringing the horse back, exact same level, no change whatsoever. I'm going to watch the tote. I mean, I don't like this horse so much at 3-1, but as this horse drifted up to like 9-2, I would give this one a hard look at, maybe even 4-1 or better. I think this horse may rebound in a big way. Other than that, the first thing I notice when I look at this chart here is this 0 underneath the maiden special weight in the DS column. And basically that means this is just a horrible race to bet on. I probably wouldn't even bet on this race. If you look at the morning line, it's all in order. So there's really no value. If you look over in the value column, you see basically nothing. So this is just one of those races where it's just not a great race to bet on, and you're better off saving your money for a different spot. So that's my thoughts on the race overall.
I like it. Yeah, this wasn't really a race that drew me in, so to speak.
Yeah. All right, I'll kick us off with race 2. I like not the greatest horse in here, but I like 2 horses in here, the 8 and the 10. All right. Now the 8, Mr. Doogie Fresh, not coming out of the greatest race, but the horse has 7 victories, 8 seconds, 8 thirds, 40 starts, and certainly has won at this level before. And, Hartman picks the horse up, and I'm just going to trust that Hartman can, put his special sauce in there with Arietta up, and I think the horse can rebound it at hopefully a good price. Hopefully I can get 10-1. And so that's the first horse I like, since they're on top of my sheet. Gets the gets the K plus, gets the little S for spot play. Looks like he's the best speed in the race, the 90 for early speed. So, I mean, it feels like a solid play. The other horse I do like at a price as well is Indian Gulch. Van Berg picked that horse up at Turfway. Horse ran actually pretty darn good there, and comes right back here at this level, picks up Santana. That horse is 8-1. So I like a couple prices in here. Definitely a good race to bet. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you mainly about the 10 in here. This horse with his 3 consecutive 67 buyer speed figures in a row, like I don't know how more consistent you could ever ask for in a horse. And 2 of these were wins. So now is going first off the claim, 9% for Van Berg. I did like the 1 a little bit in here as well, who I saw was in the 3rd spot on the chart in there. The horse broke slow last time out. 2 back, however, facing tougher, dropping again, and is also first off the claim. And Hollendorfer is 22% first off the claim, so he does a good job with this move.
Yeah, the 1 makes sense. I won't argue with the 1. In fact, I'll throw this back up here just for a second. The 1 is 3rd on the chart and gets an A grade, okay, and gets this little 1 right here in the rank column, which corresponds to PFDS odds of 4-1. I always tell people the 3 things you want to look at. First off is who's the top horse, which is the 8, who got the plus horse, and who's first in PFDS odds. I mean, those are three kinds of horses that I want to be using. So the 1 makes complete sense to me. And then, yeah, you mentioned the 10. So, but, look hard at that 8, Mr. Doogie Fresh. All right, so I'll let you start us off race 3.
Sure thing. So in here, you have an allowance optional claiming event for 3-year-old fillies, going 6 furlongs. I am going to give another shot to Martime, the number 3 horse. Santana, like you said, riding for Brad Cox now. This horse 5-1 on the morning line. I feel like this horse is probably going to take a little bit of money at least. just based on the pedigree. Not this time. Leslie's Lady. We all know who Leslie's Lady is, with Into Mischief and Beholder and Mendelssohn. And how can you not think that this horse is going to improve and do something more than the effort last out? And the break wasn't that good last time out, so I'll give this one more shot. The 4 I liked a little bit as a bit of a speed play and Peace Peddler. Okay. And then the 1 is going to be your favorite, 2-1. Velasquez is riding for Brad Cox here. Went wide to win last time out, so I think it's kind of like between the 2 Brad Cox runners and letting a little bit of the 4 in here.
We see it pretty much the same. And I'm not even going to throw the sheet up this time, but by the way, my sheet is available for free for Oaklawn tomorrow. So if you want to go to my website, chartinghorsevalue.com, you can get my chart for free. And then for Oaklawn, and if you want to be a customer, it's $25 a month. I run every thoroughbred track in America. As far as I like the 3 Maritime as well, but I think Brad Cox is going to win the race. Mm-hmm. So, I would use the 1 and the 3. I don't think I would use your 4. I would use the 1 and the 3, and because I think the 3 is going to go to the lead and going to give the 4 a run for her money or his money, whatever it is, and set up for that 1. But the 3 might run off of it. So I think Brad Cox wins, and if I was in serials, I'd be using the 1 and the 3.
Yeah, definitely his race for the taking in here.
Yeah. All right, race 4. I had to put the chart up on this one because I can't remember what the hell it said. So, okay, yeah. I didn't like this race either. I liked 2 horses in here. Now, I like Jay's Little Man, but I don't love Jay's Little Man. Let me look at the past performances again. Okay, is it Arkansas breds? Yeah. So this horse is an Arkansas bred. He's 0 for 10. He's age 5. They ran him a little at age 3. Then they ran him and made at age 4. It looks like they're finally ready to win, ready to get serious. Dropping him down to 30,000 for Dela Cruz. Coming out of the exact same race as Peace Dog. But I think this horse has, hopefully this horse can maybe show some speed today. But I don't like this selection very much. The other one I'm liking is the 11. Now, the 11, first of all, you'll see this little rank here with a 1. That's for the jockey and trainer, which that's the best combination of jockey and trainer. And anytime I get a jockey trainer combination like that at 10-1, I'm going to take a hard look. Sure enough, it's Ron Moquette, Tyler Gaffalione, first time Lasix, first off the claim. And I just have a feeling, why would you claim that horse? Tecton, sire, I just have a feeling there might have been some loose lips, and Ron Moquette got some information, decided to claim that horse. They never really were even trying to win that race. Maybe just help the horse work out, get some exercise. I think today you're going to see that horse put in a little bit more of an effort, and 10-1, might be a decent price. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a great point about the 11. I thought it was interesting that you have 3-year-olds that are facing older company already so early on in the season. They are Arkansas bred. It is a maiden claiming, but I was like taking a look at this earlier. I was like, oh, really? Like, end up. That's interesting. Same kind of thoughts in here. I used the 1 and the 9. I gave a little bit of an edge to the 1 Peace Dog over the 9 Jay's Little Man, just because this horse is more lightly raced, whereas Jay's Little Man is 0 for 10. So I like a horse that when they're trying to break their maiden, if they've had less chances to do so, other than one that's been trying to do so for however long and just hasn't got the job done. And with the 1, there's a little bit of early speed in there as well. So slight edge to that horse.
Yeah, I looked a little bit at that 5 as well, but that 5, every single time that horse goes to the lead and fades, I think the horse needs shorter than 6 furlongs. Horse has had his own way many times and still can't hold a lead. even against cheaper than today. So I think that 5, even though I like the early speed, you can't hold on. Yeah, your 1 makes sense. I would use the 1 in serially with the 9, and I would throw that 11 in.
Yeah, good price on the 11 too.
All right, race 5. This will be the place where I get abused the most, but I'll let you go first.
I was going to say, this is the place that I'm not looking for a price. In the Honeybee Stakes, the grade 3 Oaks points on the line for the 3-year-old fillies. I just think Secret Oath is too good for these horses, and I'm sure a lot of people agree. And if you want to take a shot against, I get it. You know, these are young horses. Everybody has the room to improve, and others could possibly step up. But she's undefeated at Oaklawn. The Martha Washington was a great race. I liked her in a couple starts before that a little bit when she was facing like Dream Lift back in the past. I'm not going to take a shot against it here. I just think she's better.
I think you're right. I mean, it looks like a match race between the 2 and the 3. And Secret Oath obviously coming out of a great effort. If you notice, they did run against each other back in the Goldenrod, and Secret Oath got crushed in the Goldenrod. Now, granted, Secret Oath is better now. And what's Uguri? I don't even know how to pronounce that, but what's Uguri going to do today off the layoff? Brissett's not great with horses off the layoff, but gets Johnny Villa. So I think I think the 3 is a little heavily raced for me. We've definitely seen what the 3 is capable of doing and is at her absolute best. And the 2 is going to take a ton of money. And I think they're going to just both be driven down hard in price. And so this is why I'm going to get made fun of, because I'm going to actually play this 5, Free Like a Girl. Let me see if I put my chart up yet. So Free Like a Girl gets a little plus here, $12 of value. You know, is a little slower on the energy, but not that much slower. And I was looking at the past performances. The horse is 6 for 11 with 3 seconds and 2/3. So horse has never been out of the trifecta. Been crushing Louisiana breds. Won 1 race by 18 lengths. Won last 2 races by 11 lengths. Just done everything she's supposed to do. Super cheap breeding, cheap horse. And they're like, hey, you know, we think we might have something special. They're going to give the horse a shot against obviously much, much tougher. But the horse has gone 2 turns, granted against shorter distances, but the horse has gone 2 turns at Delta, going a mile. Actually, that might be 3 turns. I'm not sure. And got some decent workouts. The jockey's coming up, Pedro Cotto, and going to go to the lead. And I think this horse is going to be a very tough customer. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's totally outclassed. You think the horse is outclassed?
I do. Again, like I don't blame you for taking a shot against what's going to be a heavy, heavy favorite. And if you can beat this horse in multis or anywhere at all, power to you. You'll get paid for it, hopefully. Yeah, I just don't think anybody is quite as good as she is. But I've seen stranger things happen, and I've picked more unlikely winners. So.
I do like the 3 more than the 2. At least the 3 is proven over the surface and not coming off a layoff. But I just have a feeling, you know, Dwayne Lucas, this horse is heavily raced. This will be the 6th time in the sequence, and we've seen the best. So, I mean, we'll see. It might be, maybe I get the 5 in for second, but I'll definitely be using the 3 and the 5 in any serials. So, anyway, you know, it's a wild card pick, but you know, it's a short field. There's not, you know, and I think the Brissett horse is very vulnerable off the layoff.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't like the 2 really at all. So
yeah. So, you know, we'll see. And that I'm going to get a price. I think I'm going to get all of that 6-1. So I like that. All right, race 6. I'll let you go first.
All right, so in here you have claimers for the $12,500 tag, 4-year-olds and up, 6 furlongs. In here I was kind of interested in only 2 horses, that being the 3 Secretary at War, who's 4-1 on the morning line. This was his second last time out, was closing and is now dropping in class again. And so then you also have the 10 in here who I'm kind of interested in. That's going to be awesome Saturday. This horse is 7-2 on the morning line. So again, like not crazy prices, nothing super, crazy in here. But this horse had some traffic trouble last time out, drops in class again. These connections, they like to drop aggressively and win races, and they are doing so. Like David Cohen and Robertino Diodoro, they're 18% combined at the meet. So they've figured out what they need to do to win, where to put their horses to make that happen. I think it's another case of that in here.
Yeah. So I'll show my chart. Obviously, you hit the top two horses on it. The 10 and the 3. I got the 10 higher. I like the 10 better. But I really, gosh, I got to tell you, I don't love this 10. First of all, got claimed for 25 by Diodoro at Keeneland, and then ran 2 races, both second place finishes, and then now dropping to 12.5. So, and that's off a little bit of a layoff. And by the way, he ran on the sloppy track. I don't know what the conditions are going to be tomorrow, but it might be muddy or sloppy. And I don't love this horse at 7-2. And I honestly, he might go off lower than 7-2. There might be something wrong with this horse. So I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about this horse off this big drop for Diodoro. He's definitely trying to get rid of the horse. That's for sure. He might also be trying to pick up a check. We'll see. I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to go with this one horse. Okay. Now, the one is ranked 3rd on my sheet, gets $5 of value. It's 10-1 morning line. There is quite a bit of pace in this race. So the horse, might get some pace to run at. And basically so Hartman claims that, no, who claimed this horse? Matthews. Okay. So the horse has been claimed a couple straight races and wins when cut back. Was cut back last time, wins at Oaklawn in a non-winners of a race in a year for $8,000, and now is running in non-winners of a race for $12,500 in a year, where the $8,000 doesn't count. So I feel like this horse fits the condition just like perfectly. And I hope I can get 10-1. And I think there's a chance the 10 is not ready to win. At least there's a chance. And the 1, I think represents really good value. So I'm going to go the 1 there. It's a little bit of a reach, but that's how I'm looking at it.
I like it. Yeah, I think those are the logical 2 as far as the short prices to use, but I can't trust them. So,
they're not very trustworthy.
No.
So, all right. So we're on to race 7. This is an interesting race 7. I'm curious what you think.
Yeah, so this is kind of like the rebel for the non-rebel horses, right? Like this
Right. Right.
This is the spot for the 3-year-old colts that aren't quite in the stakes race. Chalking out a little bit in here as far as who I think is the most likely winner. That would be the number 6.
Yeah.
Larnville. This horse was 3rd behind Forbidden Kingdom, so has been stakes faced, has faced tougher company. Now is coming into Oaklawn. You have Johnny Velasquez riding, which we know that these connections are here with Newgrange and all that. But I will say that I would also use the 5 as well, Sky and Sand. This horse breaking the maiden at 3rd asking is now stretching out, which shouldn't be a problem. And just for maybe a little bit of value, although you're not going to get much, this horse is 3-1 on the morning line. But instead of the what I assume will be the very heavy favorite in the 6.
Yeah, that 5 is a very good closer. I was looking at my chart. That 5 has the best late speed, which could, I kind of like that 5 more underneath. But I do think that 5 could get a piece. So this is an interesting race on my sheet. I like to show this because this is where I had to be humble. So anytime a big favorite gets a 1-1 like this and gets an A grade with a 1-1, big favorite, and the horse has by far the best energy, 92, no one really can touch it. Anytime that happens, usually there's a a flaw in my odds lines, and I'm very much underestimating McLaren Vale's chances of winning. And so that means I'm getting probably a little false value on this 3, Costa Terra. So anyway, I think McLaren Vale is going to be very, very tough to beat in here. But the 3, yeah, I'm gonna try on the 3. Okay, I'm gonna try to beat that horse. That horse ran really badly in the Southwest, but he was 16-1. Gun Runner, I think. By the way, isn't 6 Gun Runner too? Yeah, they're both Gun Runners.
Yeah,
they're both Gun Runners. So Asmussen gets to go against a Gun Runner from Baffert. That's interesting.
There's the interesting news story in here, right?
Yeah, but this is a Gun Runner, homebred, Winchell Thoroughbreds, and obviously they thought highly of it. Gets first time Lasix today. To me, that's the thing that makes me interested in this horse. That could have a major reversal in form, and does sit up on my top of my sheet anyway. Although, like I said, the value, don't trust that $21 of value. And then Call Me Jamal. I looked a little bit at Call Me Jamal as well. You get the over-jocked angle 2 to the 7, and you got some early speed. The problem with Call Me Jamal is I just don't think Call Me Jamal can keep up with McLaren Vale early, but might be able to get a piece at a price. But I'm going to be using the 3 and the 6 in any horizontal wagers.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I did give a look to Call Me Jamal as well, so I'm glad that you brought him up. At 15-1, maybe toss this horse somewhere in underneath because this horse kind of fits in here. I think that this horse is going to be totally overlooked with the heavy favorite in the 6, and then also probably the 5 a little bit. So if I was going to choose a horse to finish 3rd, it's Call Me Jamal. Yeah,
and this horse won over the mud, breaking his maiden at Oaklawn. That was on a muddy track and had Lasix on. Gets the Lasix back. And is going to be very much overlooked. So I kind of I definitely think Call Me Jamal is worth looking at, definitely underneath that 6, and maybe Costa Terra can have a major rebound, but yeah, good call. I'm not in love with the 1 horse, Great Escape.
Yeah, me either. I didn't really give this one much of a look in here. Yeah. And this horse is 4-1 on the morning line. So according to the morning line would be your 3rd likeliest winner. So yeah, same thoughts. Not a fan.
Yeah. And then here is that late speed I mentioned on the 93 on Sky and Sand. Horse is going to come running late as well. So, all right. We are on to race 8. I really don't like this race. It gets a 3 over here because of this K Plus horse with $28 of value. But you see all this 0.4s and all these first-time starters. So I hate the race. I probably wouldn't bet it as an individual race, but I would single the 2 in any horizontals and hope I get lucky if I had, but that's what I would do. I would just single the 2. I don't have a very strong opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, so I think that you're absolutely right that 2 is the most likely winner, and I think a lot of people might single. We'd have the same top 3. I do kind of like the 9 a little bit on top, but this is one of those horses that I get myself in trouble with because I like a horse, and then they always go off at odds that I think are greater than they should be, and I always bet the horse. They always run well, but they never seem to win, and so obviously with a maiden, there's still much more potential to improve, and this isn't quite like a midnight bourbon to me yet, but I really like the 9 Curly Tail in here. This horse was facing the likes of Smile Happy. It's one of those horses I've just been betting on and really like what I've seen from this horse so far. I think finished 4th at 30-1 or something a couple races back. None of the firsters really caught my eye in here. Like I said, the 2 makes a ton of sense, but I would put the 9 on top and try to beat the 2.
Good. I like it. Yeah, I looked really hard at the 9, and I like that 9 a lot. But I think if I played this race as an individual race, and I'm not sure I will, but if I did, I would play an exacta 2 over the 8-9 one way, and maybe hope to inject a tiny amount of value because the 2 I think is going to go off at even money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, you know, it's a tough race to make any money on. All right, we'll go to you on race 9.
So this is a race where I actually really like the one on top. That's going to be Pat's Property. One of the quickest tools that I use just to go through a race and kind of find out who's the most likely winner when I have like a minute or two before I'm just playing something is the mobile version of the Daily Racing Form formulator, and it has this thing at the top called the buyer par, which it's like the par that it thinks is needed to then win this race, which of course that's not always going to be accurate. But for this race, it's a 90. And this horse's last race is a 90 Buyer speed figure. So I like this one that's hitting the par, cutting back slightly in distance, is now second off the layoff. These connections are 10% second off the layoff. And I like the price at 8-1. I just didn't love any of the shorter prices in here. I think the shortest price is the 10 at 3-1. That would be my second choice. But I would go with the 1 in here and try to maybe do like 1 and 10, or maybe even just single the 1.
Good picks. Very good picks. So the 10, the 1 Pat's Property gets the plus grade for the best bet in the race. A plus, $7 of value. Form cycle improves from 14 to 5.2 to 1 on best odds. I like everything about this one a lot. The one thing I noticed looking at the race is you see all these E's, just a ton of early speed. And of course, I don't know how the race is going to get run. And maybe, sometimes these big early speed races, they don't go that fast when you think they will. But the one has the best early speed on my chart at 97. So I think the 1 may get the lead. And by the way, 1 has to go from the rail if you're an early speed horse. So I think the 1's going to hustle and get to the lead and maybe can hold on. But if he doesn't, the race could fall apart. And then there's your 10 you mentioned. But then I was looking hard at this 2 and the 9. And I was looking especially hard at this 2. Now, the 2, Santos Dumont, that's a Hartman horse. Now, it looks like it's been off for quite a while. Been off since last April. So maybe they sold the horse privately or something. I'm not sure. But horse is working pretty well. Just ran a minute bullet, fastest of 53. So I have a feeling the horse is way better than 12-1, and might benefit. Definitely can come from out of it, and might benefit from a very fast pace early. Gets a 2, so 1's going to go to lead, so 2's going to get the dream trip, rating on the rail. And so I'm going to probably bet the 1 and the 2. I'll probably Dutch them. I mean, the odds are great on both of them. I'll probably bet them both to win. I'm definitely going to use the 1, 2, 9, 10. Nothing else in the race interests me at all. I don't really like that 3 at all. And by the way, this is a mile, and that means they have the early finish line. That's a factor in these races. But so that's how I'm seeing it. I'm kind of liking this, the 1 and the 2.
Nice. I'll keep that 2 in mind. I've been taking notes on what you have to say during this, so I can remember some of these horses that you bring up. Of course, I'll look at the chart as well, but I like what you said about them. So
okay,
I like it.
All right, race 10. Okay, I think this one's my turn, but unfortunately, race 10, man, that's another race I just can't stand. You see, again, all these first-time starters. It's so hard. The 13 Slim Man isn't also eligible. Might not even draw in, but I figured this one horse is going to scratch. So I think Slim Man will probably draw in and looks like the most likely winner. The way I would play this serially is I would either single the 13 or I would go very, very deep, very deep. Anything honestly could happen, but I like the 13. Hopefully he draws in.
Yeah, I think you're totally right with that 13. If this horse draws in, I think the 13 wins the race. I think the 13 would also get bet quite a bit
Yeah.
from that 5-1 morning line. If the 13 doesn't draw in here, there are a lot of first time starters. And as far as those that have run, I only maybe like the 8 a little bit. Stayed in for half, putting the blinkers on for Asmussen and Gaffleon. He's 20% putting the blinkers on, so it does work for him, unlike some other trainers that you think of as high percentage trainers. And when they make this move, that doesn't quite really do anything for their percentages.
Yeah.
And then this horse is just making a second start, so could improve. But looking at some of the firsters, I do kind of like the other one for Brad Cox a little bit, just in case the 13 doesn't get in, and the 6 Lundberg.
Yep.
That's a $400,000 Uncle Mo purchase price. And also, I was looking a little bit at the 10. That's a Practical Joke going out for Ron Moquette. And maybe a little bit of the 11. This horse is coming in with a bullet work last time
Yeah.
out. Pioneer the Nile, $375,000 purchase price. So I think some of these firsters could possibly be a little bit live in here. I just didn't really love anybody that had run other than the 13.
Yeah, totally agree with you on every horse you mentioned. Pretty much exactly what my chart shows. In fact, the order on my chart is 13, 6, 8, 11. So we're in complete agreement on that one. Although it just feels like it's a tough race to make any money, and honestly, something crazy might happen this race. It's that kind of race. So I'm going to be very careful. I don't like to waste money in races like that. All right, so race 11, you're up again. Oh, here's the Big Daddy, Rebel Stakes.
Right?
Before we
start,
two. What was that?
Not split into two this time.
Right, yeah. I'm going to show another slide here, which I thought was absolutely hilarious today. Sorry if people don't like it. So this is Baffert scrotal lockjaw syndrome.
Oh, boy.
And it says, what does it say? Do take wake the fuke up. I think I might have mispronounced that. It says, do take that if you are using salon, pause, chips and weed, or topical ointments. So anyway, I think I just really am very sad about this race with Baffert in here for Newgrange. I don't understand why the owners aren't moving the horse to a different trainer if they think the horse is a legitimate Derby contender. But I'll let you go first. I'll save my opinion.
No, I think it's a good opinion to have just in general, whether you like the horse's chances to win this race or not. It's just like with everything that's going on, regardless of how you feel about what's deserved or what's not, and anybody that follows me on Twitter and has watched anything that I have to say knows that I have very strong anti-Bob Baffert opinions. I don't need to restate all of them here, but I'm going to take a shot against Newgrange in this race. This horse is obviously a very live contender and makes a lot of sense, but I won't bet Baffert horses. And so I'm going to go with the 4 Un Ojo, very cleverly named because the horse only has one eye. Coming in from New York, 12-1 on the morning line. This horse is closed at some pretty big prices in his last 2 starts. He was 23-1, 2 back. He was almost 30-1 last time out, closing behind Early Voting in the Wither Stakes. Early Voting didn't earn the biggest buyer speed figure with that win, but I think that just the way that he did it was very impressive considering the way that the track has been playing in New York. And for this horse to come from off the pace and make that kind of, relentless closing kick as he did, I think that there's a pretty good chance that he gets some decent pace to chase in here. Stretching out. Is he stretching out? No, he's going the same distance, or actually he's shortening up. Sorry, my bad. To the 6th mile and the 16th for the mile and the 8th. But I think with the speed that's probably signed on in this race, I think he gets his opportunity to finally get there. And if maybe this isn't his chance to win, I think that this is a horse that you have to watch going forward on the Derby trail. If he continues to make those kind of relentless closing kicks and get a piece of it, the further they go, he could possibly be interesting going forward. So that's my top pick in here. I'm willing to give the 6 Stellar Tap another chance for Asmussen. I did bet that horse on the day that he broke the record for him when he broke his maiden. Kind of disappointed. Kind of did okay last time out to finish third. There's a lot of horses that could step up and win here. I wouldn't really be surprised by at least half the field.
Yeah, so I watched the Southwest Stakes over and over. Okay. And one thing I'll tell you is Newgrange did not win that race like the typical Baffert horse. First of all, it was completely outrun early, and then and dropped back, and that was a good move by Johnny V on him. But then the field caught up to him, okay, and then they all kind of moved as a pack, and it was really, he did kind of accelerate late and pull away a little bit, but it was a very grinding type of win. It was not the typical Baffert's cruise on the lead, explodes away in the stretch, wins by 8 lengths. That's not what that was. And it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't the greatest effort. Now, he's come back with some incredible workouts, and it's going to end up going off at 4-5. Okay. I think the horse is vulnerable. It was not a great effort. Plus, the conditions tomorrow are going to be different. Might be some mud, some slop, who knows. Ben Diesel had a absolute dream trip. I was going to bet Ben Diesel off my chart, but then after I looked at that trip, everything went his own way, and he still couldn't get it done. I don't see how that horse can rebound today. I thought Kavad ran huge that day. Very well raced horse, and gave up the lead really late. That horse fought for a long time. But did give up the lead late. I thought ran great. He's going to get the lead here again. If you look at the pace figures off Bristnet's PPs, by the way, Bristnet PPs for Oaklawn are free. He's set very, very fast fractions in his last 2 races, and I expect he'll do that again. So I think there's going to be a lot of pace to run at. I think the horse will tire again, but that horse was damn tough, and maybe the mud moves him up a little bit. Barbour Road. Okay, so Barbour Road, I'm going to really watch the tote board on Barbour Road to see what happens. I hope the odds drift up. That horse ran a really good race. Was wide into the first turn, was extremely wide in the backstretch, was very wide coming for home. And when they were running down the stretch, him and Newgrange was not pulling away from him at all. That horse went from 11th, 12 lengths back, to second, 1.5 lengths back. So if you're going to try to beat Newgrange with a Southwest horse, I think this is the one to do it. I'm going to throw some other horses out there. Chasing Time. This is a My Racehorse stable horse for Asmussen. Gaffleon gets on board. I think this horse is going to get overbet. I think the horse has a shot, but I think this horse is going to get overbet, so I'm going to stay away. Now the 10, the 10, Ethereal Road. This is the Dwayne Lucas horse. This horse ran on Southwest Stakes Day 2 races later. And I don't know if you saw that race, but I watched the replay again. That horse was so far back. The horse broke so badly. And it looked like the jockey just wrapped up on him and was just going to give him a rest day. And then he just gobbled up the field and pulled away 1 by 4 lengths. I think that was a really impressive effort. But I'm not touching that horse if he gets bet down. If that horse gets bet down to like 4-1, 5-1, I want no part of it. But if that horse stays at a big price, like 12, 15-1, I'm going to look hard at that one. And then my final one is going to be a complete wild card. You're probably going to make fun of it. But, maybe I just feel sorry for Santana that he didn't get the mount on the 6 Stellar Tap. Christian Torres got the mount on Stellar Tap. Torres is 0 for 14 with Asmussen. I just can't believe he didn't put Santana on that horse. Unless Santana wanted to ride Texas Red Hot. So I was looking at Texas Red Hot, and this horse went for $130,000 out of Texas Red Sire. That horse must have looked pretty darn good in the sale. So that to me is a big overbuy. The horse looked pretty good. He's got a couple wins. He ran horrible in the Kentucky Jockey Club. Of course, that was against Smile Happy. All those horses have come back to run extremely well in the Kentucky Jockey Club. And, this horse, it's got some very nice workouts coming in off the bench. I really like that 113-1 out of the gate. Then he has a Bullet February 19th. And I just don't think Santana is riding for this guy unless he's heard something very, very positive. So that's probably my big long shot pick, Texas Red Hot. And I think we're going to get 20-1 or more on that horse. So I know I threw a bunch of horses out there. Bottom line, I'm going to watch the tote carefully. I'm not touching Newgrange. And the horses I'm probably looking at hard are Barbour Road and Texas Red Hot and maybe Ethereal Road. Those three.
Yeah, same thoughts. Avoid Newgrange. I think anybody else has a little bit of a shot in there. So I think it could be a pretty exciting Rebel. I think we get a price home in there for sure.
Yeah. And let me tell you, sometimes these, obviously Baffert wins like 65% of the time he runs at Arkansas. But when he doesn't win, it explodes. The tote will explode. And so I'm hoping that's the case.
Absolutely. And I think of all the Baffert favorites that are going to be heavy favorites to go out, maybe even this year, I think Newgrange is probably one of the worst bets.
For sure. I mean, Violence. Now he does, I think he got Empire Maker on the dam side, but Violence on the sire does not. I don't think this is a Derby horse. So maybe that's why the connections are not worried about the points. But yeah, I'm going to take a shot against. So, all right, let's talk about the last race. I got a pretty interesting pick here. So I'll show my chart. Sorry, I got to put it back up here. All right. You see my chart?
I see it.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Flipping around here. My technology is still weak. All right, I'm going to go for the 7. All right. Heritage Park gets the A+ grade, $6 of value. By the way, my birthday is July 10th. So, you've got the number 7 and the 10-1 odds. So, don't forget my birthday. But, I think this horse, there's a lot of speed in here. There's going to be quite a few scratches. But the horse has the best early speed by far. Horse, I think, goes right to the lead. And that might be all you need to win this race, is just get to the front and hold on. So I'm going to go that way, 7. What do you like?
The horse at the beginning of the chart in there, Rolling Fork, catches my interest quite a bit.
Sure.
Number 11. This horse has a bullet work coming in, and it's not one of those bullet works where they faced, like there were 4 workers at the distance today. This was 69 others, and this horse was on top. So that interests me a little bit. Coming in off a layoff since August 27th, so going to have to contend with that. But you have Rayleigh Gutierrez riding 18% at the meet. Ortiz 8% as a trainer at the meet. Well, with these two together, the ROI is a positive $5.49. So they're winning with prices. This horse won't be a huge price in here, but with that ROI and the 28% with the connections and the bullet work and all that, I was really interested in this one. I did take a look at the 10 Navy Seal as well. This horse is second off a layoff, is a closer. Had to go wide last time, but this horse did win 3 back, and I think just kind of fits at this level.
Yeah, the card and all those horses. Navy Seal is coming in here with Goodnight Arch. You can make a case for either one of those. I think with this 11, of course, it shows up at the top of my chart. So obviously, my chart likes them. I think I just don't like the 6-month layoff. The Ortiz is 12% off the layoff. And although, like you said, the connections are profitable, I just feel like 7-2 is way too short off that layoff against this group. And it's a really, let's be honest, this is a lousy group of horses.
Right. No superstars in here.
No superstars at all. So why not just play my birthday, 7 horse at 10-1 odds, and hope the horse goes to the lead. The horse has won 6 times at 21 starts, and is running for the $20,000 tag. So I don't know if I'm going to get 10-1 odds, but at 10-1, the horse gets the value, 6, A+. I'm going to go that route, look for a little bit of a price, but tricky for sure. All right, well, that was fun, and I really appreciate you joining in as always, and your handicapping is top notch. $16 ticket for 5,000 is unbelievable. Okay,
almost 5.
Well, 4,700 or whatever it was. That shows your skill. And I went back and looked at your picks that day, and I was like, I had no shot. Shot. So you did really well. And sometimes that's the way it is. Sometimes you're going to have a great day. Sometimes I'll have a great day, or somebody else will. But we're looking. I like it when we agree as well. We agreed a lot today, but it's fun to get differing opinions, and it really helps our handicapping.
Yeah, of course. And that's the thing that I always say to people too, like everybody wins and everybody loses, and you are losing a lot more than you win in this game. We all are. You just have to make sure that it's profitable when you do win. And it's like, even with that really excellent pick 5 that I put together, I was also at the same time making that video for the Aqueduct pick 6 carryover. And just to show like how difficult this game is in general, no matter how good or bad you are or whatever, I went 1 for 6 in that pick 6 that I made that video for. Only one of my picks won in the entire 6-race sequence. So,
but it was what, like a $20 ticket?
I think it was 54.
Oh, okay. That's a little pricey for me. I like to play cheap tickets. Okay,
I do too.
Because when they hit, I'm in the black. So yesterday I had a $12 ticket, and if I played it for 50 cents, it would have been $6. So I mean, it's so cheap. But I played it for $1, and it was $12. The only reason I paid it for $1 is because my betting service, which I'm not going to say online, wouldn't let me bet it for anything less than $1. So I bet it for $1 and it hit for $5.40. And every single pick, every race I had the top horse. So, it's fun. I love this game. I love having days like that. I think there's a lot of potential at Oaklawn tomorrow, especially with the weather, and, really pay attention early in the card to see how it's playing and adjust your handicapping accordingly. But a lot of fun having you on, and we will do it again.
Absolutely. Pleasure as always.
Thank you. All right. Goodbye, everybody.